Welcome to Coffee Club. I am your host, Paul Chappell, and today is lesson 3, a guide to playlists. This is going to be a fun lesson. I love playlists. When I finally added a bunch of playlists to my main page, it felt like I had finally accomplished something. I had come into my own, and today, hopefully you'll have that same feeling. We're going to start, as we do every lesson, in Paul's Big Houses, the channel I've been designing from scratch. If you haven't seen my previous 2 videos, I implore you right now, go back and watch those and then come back and you'll know what we're doing in this lesson. As you can see, between lessons, I have uploaded a bunch of videos, but as you can see below my uploads playlist, which is something that YouTube creates automatically, you don't have to do anything, but below that playlist, there's nothing. Well, the one good thing about playlists is that it's one of the most redundant features on YouTube. In other words, it's one of those features that you can play with almost anywhere in YouTube Studio. You don't have to necessarily go to one area. So let's start off. I'm going to show you the easiest way to add a playlist. It's when you upload a video. Let's just go ahead and upload something. I'm going to upload, let's see here. I'll go with dogs and then 8. Now it's going to do all the usual things we did in the last lesson, but if you go down a little bit down the list, you'll see that playlist has a little area all its own. You can click on this arrow and you can create a playlist and add one right here. But that's really not the area I like to add playlists. There's an easier way to do it. If you have a bunch of videos in particular, you can go to content and you can just click on a bunch of videos and do it in a batch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a playlist for all the buildings that I have on my channel, because what I decided between lessons is that my channel just won't be about dog houses. It'll just be about big houses, as the name suggests. So I uploaded both videos of big buildings and some videos of my 2 huskies. I'm going to separate them into different categories. So first thing I'll do is I'm going to check all the thumbnails that have big buildings in them. I'm going to skip the dog videos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to the top, go to add the playlist. And as you see, there's no playlist. I'm going to create a playlist. I'm going to call it Big Houses. And I'm going to hit create. As you can see, we've created a playlist already. I'm going to go to save. It says playlist edited. Now, if you actually want to play around with that playlist, you go over here to where it says playlist in the menu, and there it is. You can click on edit in YouTube, and it will take you right to that playlist. You can add a description. Let's say Paul's Big Houses in Greenville, South Carolina. And hit save. So there you have it. Your playlist is pretty much done. There's a few other things you can do. You can sort. Now, most popular is fairly self-explanatory. It's going to, if you click on that, it's going to arrange your videos according to the most popular to the least popular. But none of these videos have any views, so it didn't really change. I'm going to use date published, so it's going to take the newest video and put it first. Also, coincidentally, it will use that top video in your playlist as a thumbnail. Now you can change that. You can actually go over here to the right, click on it, and set one of these other videos as the thumbnail. So I'm going to go, let me see, let me use this one since it's so different from the other ones. I'm going to choose that as a thumbnail, set as playlist thumbnail. Now, as you can see on each video, it has all these different options. You can remove it from the playlist. You can move this to the top. You can move it to the bottom. Let's go ahead and move it to the bottom. So those are some of the options you have in here. You can also pull on these two little lines if you want and pull down the videos or pull them up. So it's very easy to manipulate your playlist. You can also share your entire playlist to Facebook, and you would just copy this, or you would click on Facebook or one of these other social media accounts, and it'll just take you to the site itself, and then you would have to log in, and then you just post it to your timeline or Twitter. You would just tweet your playlist or whatever. So those are all options. But we're going to go back into YouTube Studio, and we are going to go to content again, and we're going to add my dog videos to another playlist. I think that's all of them. I'm going to go up to add to playlist. I'm going to say just dogs, because I don't really have any actual dog houses on this channel yet. I'm going to hit create, save, go back to playlist, and there it is. So that's all well and good, but if we go back to the main page of our channel, those playlists are nowhere to be seen. So how do we add those playlists to our main page? We're going to go to Customize Channel. And we're going to go down to Feature Sections. Here, this is where you add in more playlists. As you can see, Uploads is already its own playlist. You can actually remove that if you want. You don't have to keep it just because YouTube established that as a default. So I'm going to go to Add Section. I'm going to hit Single Playlist. I'm going to choose Big Houses first. And as you can see, it appears right below this. Now I can move these around. I can move it up or whatever. Okay, I'm going to add another section. Another single playlist. I'm going to do dogs. And let me say, I'm going to put that first. And then I'll put upload second. Now, you can even do this. Now, there's yet another option in here. You can actually add subscriptions or featured channel. Now, I like the featured channel because I can put in my other channels on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and look up all my channels in the search bar right here. There it is. I'm going to hit done. And it appears down here. Now, again, you can move this around. If you want your featured channel to be the first thing people see, you can move it up to the top. You have a lot of options here, but I'm going to edit this section again. I'm going to get Paul's Coffee Club. I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to add one more. I got a gaming channel called Power Up Archive. Now here again, you don't have to go in this order. You can go ahead and go back to edit, and you can move these around as well. Same way with the little lines, the little handle lines I call them. You can just, whatever you want. I'm going to move this to the bottom. I think that's the best place for it because I want people to actually see my playlist before they see my other channels. Okay, a couple other features on this page. You can put a channel trailer for people who haven't subscribed. So let's add a doggy video. That usually works. And then you can have a featured video for returning subscribers. So what happens here is, if someone has already visited your channel, when they come back, they're going to see this video. So you might want to promote another video. Let's say I want to promote this City Hall video. So all that is done. One more detail you might want to know, you can add up to 10 of these sections, but no more than that. So now that I'm done, I'm going to go up here to publish. It says changes published. I'm going to go to channel. Now, as you'll tell right away, well, first of all, I was playing my trailer, but other than that, YouTube hasn't actually updated my channel page. It takes a little while, and I don't know why. It's just how it's always been. Even if you reload it, it's not going to be available right away. So what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to take you to one of my other channels and demonstrate a few more options. Again, we're going to go to YouTube Studio. We're going to go to my playlist, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite features of playlists. As you can see, I have a bunch of videos where I've reviewed and recapped the WandaVision series that recently came out on Disney Plus. This is a series of videos. So the great thing about making a playlist, and a lot of people don't understand this, is if you have a series of videos, YouTube will use that series of videos as part of their recommendations when your video, whatever video they're watching from this playlist, when it ends, YouTube will automatically suggest the next video in that series. And the way you do this is by you click on one of these three dots, you go to playlist settings, and I already have this set up as a series playlist, but if it wasn't checked, I would check this and it would make sure this playlist appeared as a series. So that's very important as a function of the recommendation engine and getting your videos not only discovered, but keeping people on your channel watching videos. Also, you'll notice there's an option to allow embedding. Now that has to do with somebody using your video on their site. If you don't want anybody to reference your video on their website, I would uncheck this. And of course, you got an option to add videos to the top of playlist. Usually what happens when you add a new video on top of playlist, it doesn't appear right away. Just make sure if this is checked that it appears right away. One of the other things that people don't understand about playlists, now I've already covered one of those things, and that's the fact that you can use playlists as a series. That's very, very important and powerful. One of the other things people don't understand is that playlists are searchable in the YouTube engine. Now let's go to YouTube's main page, and I'm going to demonstrate this. Now when I started Paul Chappell, it wasn't actually called Paul Chappell. The channel was actually called Kurt and Paul Discuss. It was actually a channel that I started with my brother-in-law, Curtis. We used to make reviews together. Well, Curtis left the show, I don't know, after I think it was 27 reviews. And he didn't come back, even though he said he was going to. So I had a problem because the channel was called Kurt and Paul Discuss. Well, when I decided to rebrand, I named it Paul Chappell. But I had those reviews that I'd already made with Curtis, and I didn't want to get rid of them because all those views I had on those videos would have been lost if I had deleted them. So what I did, I put them in a playlist. And the thing about it, even though that playlist doesn't even appear on my main channel page, if you do a search on YouTube, let's go ahead and do it right now. Kurt and Paul Discuss. There it is. Every video I did with Curtis on my old channel appears right here. And I can view the full playlist. And here's all the reviews we did together. From the last one we did to the very first one we did, which was Solo, a Star Wars story. So a lot of people don't understand how powerful playlists are. They are actually searchable in the YouTube engine. So you want to use them whenever possible, especially when you have a series of videos like this. In fact, I don't even know if I have it set for a series. I'm going to go ahead and do that just in case somebody stumbles across this while they're searching YouTube. And I have no description, which is probably something I should add too. Because, again, YouTube uses your description in the recommendation engine when people search. So you want to utilize playlists. It's very important. Okay, let's go back to Paul's Big Houses, and we're going to see if YouTube is loaded. Oh, there we go. Looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. I think the default they show is 5 on the page, but you can go to the right and show another 5. I think you can show up to 10. There's one other thing you can do. Let's go back to customize channel. I'm going to add a section with multiple playlists. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add both of these playlists and hit done. And we're going to see what it does. As you can see here, we have both of my playlists. And it probably is not going to show right away. But if we go back, one thing about dealing with YouTube Studio, you can open up a lot of freaking tabs. I'm going to go ahead and close all these tabs. But as you can see, we have both of my playlists on this list. And it gives a number telling whoever visits the page how many videos are in that playlist. And they can click on it and just view all of them. I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to go to any playlist on YouTube. I'm going to go back to Kurt and Paul Discuss. And I'm going to add this on my channel. That's another thing. That's probably one of the other things people don't understand about playlists. You can actually add playlists from other channels. That's probably the biggest thing people don't understand about playlists. Let me go ahead and enlarge this. So yeah. In fact, let's add a couple more. Let me see. We look up the binge list. Yeah, I'm liking this. And then we're gonna do one more. I'll do power up. I'm gonna take something from my other channel. Let's do Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's good. So yeah, this is a good way if you want to promote one of your other channels. You can put playlist here. I'm going to hit publish. And there we are. Now, it doesn't have the other ones I put in, but they'll appear after a while. Like I said, sometimes YouTube needs a while to update everything. So that brings me to one of the final features I want to talk about. Now, I don't use this one a lot, but just so you're aware, you can collaborate with other people. YouTube Studio, playlist, and let's say I want to collaborate with somebody. So this is how you share a link. You're going to copy this. What you're going to do is you're going to take that link and you're going to share it with somebody. I'm going to log into one of my other accounts, Power Up. Let's say let's say Power Up was not my channel. It was actually somebody else's channel. They could take that link, paste it into their browser, and As you can see up here, it says continue. Add this playlist as a power-up archive. You're gonna hit continue. Now, what I can do is I'm gonna go to my main channel, my power-up archive channel, and let's say I wanna add this. Say I choose this one. I'm going to save the playlist, and as you can see here, the binge list appears. So now I can add it to my other channel. And like I said, if Power Up was actually the channel of one of my friends, they could add one of their videos to one of my playlists on my channel, if that makes sense. So pretty powerful. Let's just go back. We're going to go back and see if YouTube has updated everything by now. And it has. As you can see, we got all our playlists in. Pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. Woo! Everything I've ever done in the binge list, which is 131 videos. Now people have access to it from Paul's Big Houses. I don't know how useful that's going to be, but it's something you can do. So make sure you share this video if you know any other YouTubers this might be useful for. If you have any questions, make sure you leave it down in the comment below. And until next time, I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.